and showing you how you can help the tumbler along when you have just little teeny tiny scratches on your rock. And I will show you, like on this one, I don't know if you can see that, but right in through here, there's a bunch of little teeny tiny scratches where I could just rerun that in stage one, but if I do that, then that's another 2 days that this rock can't go to stage two. And we will point out the flaws in each rock as I sand them, and then as we look at what the issue is afterwards and see how it affects it. And then it will go into the tumbler right here. Let me move this over so you can see. It'll go into the tumbler right there. So this is loud. Take the cloth. I use these microfiber cloths, and we'll wipe it, and then we'll take the flashlight and look at it again. Okay, so that took care of right in through here, but there's still a few right up there. I don't know if you can see the white, like right where my thumbnail is. Can you all see that right there? Just a little bit right across there. And maybe if we turn this around this way, that'll help. Okay, let's wipe it and look at it again. I can see without the flashlight there's one little bit right there. So we took, and there was these little lines all the way over to there. Now it's just right here. It's just right here where my finger is. But it was all the way across there. So you can see how, just a little bit with a 240 sanding pad helped the face of this rock. Wipe it. And sometimes I use a damp cloth, sometimes a dry cloth. Doesn't seem to really matter. Okay, so now we took care of that. There's one little bitty spot right here, right at the edge, going like maybe a quarter of an inch. So while we're doing this, we'll go ahead and hit that. But you can see just a little bit of effort will go a long way. See, it's still there, right there. See where the white mark is, right where my finger is? Can you all see that? Oops, sorry. Where's my finger? Right there? Oops. That was my arm, sorry. Right there, right where my finger is. That's all that's left. That went all the way across there. That one little line went all the way across. So we're going to give it one more shot. And then we're going to go on to the next rock. Yeah, it's right there, right at the edge. So let's take the flashlight and see where we're at. It's still there, but it's like only this long from the edge to right there. When that went all the way across there. It went all the way across. So you can see how just a little bit with the sander helped out a whole bunch. And we will put that in there. I do have some water in there already. So now we'll go on to the next rock. Okay, so we got, you can see the white line goes from, I don't know if you guys can see that real well, but it goes from right there all the way down to right there. So we're going to do the same thing that we did with the other rock. And this is 240 grit sandpaper on the sander. Wipe it and check it. Okay, so it stops here, picks up here, and goes to there, where it went all the way through there. Same as we did before, wipe it. And take the flashlight. trace where he was before. And see, you start right there now, and you go to there, and it stops. And then a little bit right here, where it went all the way through past there. So we're making quite an improvement on this. And the reason I do this is because if I just put this in there and don't do something to help this out, I will have to, at the end, I will have to take it and do the whole process over from step 1 all the way through step 4, because that line will not come out of there. And then you'll have to do re-step 1 and keep having to redo step 1. And if you have a little sander like this and you could help it out, why not help it out? These rocks have only been through step 1, so you're not ruining the polish because it hasn't gone that far. But this is just something you can do to help the tumbler out, and every little bit helps. Doesn't take much. See, now we got just this little bit right here, and we'll take the flashlight and trace it again. See right there where my thumb is. Can you all see that? One little bit right there. It goes a little bit here, but it don't go all the way up here and down here like it did before. Okay, so that one little bit right there is not coming out, but this right here is almost out. This little bit right here. So we'll turn the rock around this way and work on this little bit right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. Is the flashlight too much? Hello, how are you today? Yeah. Yep. I'm always going to Yellowstone River and getting new stones. And some of them are too hard to, or too big for the saw. So what I do is I take if there's like a crack in them, I'll take and tap the crack with the rock hammer, and then it splits in half. And so that's a natural split. So then I just sand it a little bit like I'm doing now, and then put it in the tumbler. Wipe it. And sometimes the sander can't do it all, so then I just go ahead and put it in the tumbler. But see, that scratch right there is barely there, and we just got this one to deal with right here. But I still always go the full length of the stone. That's just something that I do. Wipe it. Okay. So now we just got this a little bit right here, and that little bit right there, and we're going to put it in the tumbler, and then let the tumbler do it through step 2 and see what we come up with. Now this one right here, you got this right across here, a little bit there. That side looks good. That side looks good. And that side looks good. And this stuff here is called Mexican black lace agate. And I think this is going to be really pretty when it's all done. Wipe it, and same thing that we did the other rocks. Take your flashlight, and okay, you got a little bit right here. Right, from right there, and then it curves up to there. And then we got this over here that's just a little bit. A little tiny bit, should be easy to come out. Just wipe it. Okay, so that not do anything. We're going to change the pad on the sander. Get another 240 out of here, out of the drawer behind me. these, I just love the sander because it's Velcro, and so there's no glue needed. It just peels right off, and you take the next one. Just press it on, and you're good to go. Okay, now wipe it. And then check. And so it started down here by where my thumbnail is. And it goes all the way up here. But we've been able to pretty much get it out from right to right there. So we've got, like, from the end here, we got up to there all done. And so we just need to get the rest of that. And there's a little bit over here. And these white spots are some kind of crust. And when it goes through the tumbler, that it eats out that crust, and so you have like a druzy pocket in there. Turns out really cool. See how that is right there? That was all filled with that crust. And so was that right there. She's got a little bit left right there. But this whole thing was filled with that crust. I've been working on this particular rock for a while. Usually don't take much. Okay, so now we're up to right there. On that side, we've got this one all taken care of on this side. We just need to work on this stretch from right here up to there, where my two fingers are. And let me tell you what would happen if you didn't do this. The grit would get in that groove and just make that groove deeper and wider, and you'd have like almost like a trench going through there. So I like to not have trenches in the middle of the shelf piece. This is the face. So I don't like to have a trench going like right up through there. That's like end up being this wide and deep. If I can, do something to counteract that. there, right there. And this right here, not going to take very much. Right through there. At least we got this right here to go. Side right here, a little bit on that side, and bottom, and that can go in the tumbler. See, this Mexican black lace agate is very, very hard. Tell you how hard this is? Okay, this has been through the entire tumbling process twice. And I use, for my step one, I used 4670 grit. And it was through that twice and still didn't take them lines out. So we're just helping it along. And we will put that in here. On to our next piece. This just has a facing. Don't need much. So that took care of that one. We got room for one more in there. I want to do this one right here. This is a weird rock here. So It's an agate of some sort. But it's weird to me because it's the color of amethyst, but it's hard. It's hard, not like amethyst. Amethyst is one of your more softer rocks. And we'll see right here. Let's see. See that right there? That looks like amethyst right there. But then you get over here, and it's got like a black sheen to it. And if I put it up through like this, see, this is how you can tell an agate. An agate, if you put a flashlight on it, you can see through it. But you can see the bottom, you can see through it. But then if we flip it over, not so much. Almost looks like amethyst, but it's heavier and it's harder. It's a weird rock. What currently Rock Pounder calls mystery rock. We're gonna almost get messed up there. Wipe it. And in the tumbler it goes. Probably just a little bit. This over here. That. And then we have room for one more. We could do this one. Let's that one's good. That size is good. So we're going to set that over there. And that side is good. And that side is, that side needs a little help right there. So we'll do this one, put this one in there, and then that's all the room there is in there. That one went on the floor. That happens. Wipe it. And we don't really need to look at the end right here because there wasn't anything wrong with this. I just like to, while I'm doing one side, do the other. Okay, that took care of good. And that right there. And that's all we have room for in there. Oh. And we're going to do some borax. Oops, that's not borax. That is polish. It's not ready for polish. Bye, you guys. Excuse my reach. And step 2 grit, which is 120. And I do 2 tablespoons per pound of rock. So this is a 2 tablespoon scoop. That'll be, there's 3 pounds of rock in there. Do 1, 2, 3. That's what the rock shed recommends. I've tried playing around with it a little bit less, a little bit more, and that's what seems to work. So I like to stick with what works. Right down there. And dip this in the water. It's good and wet. And right around the edge right here. Again. Around real good. And then take the dry section of the towel and wipe that out. Okay, and that goes in the towel bin right there. And then take this and the towel we just put in there. Wipe the lid off. Yeah, we were supposed to go to the Yellowstone River on the weekend, but I woke up Saturday and it was like 35 degrees and snowing. I swear we're having some of the most bipolar weather this year. But it'll all clear up one of these days and we will be able to spend time at the river. And life will be good. Okay, that press it down. Seam rag. I keep throwing it in the towel bin. That on. That on. Good and tight. she goes. And that is all for today, folks. See you again next time.